I know it's petty, but I love having this argument with these fucking people. I've been pointing out that Mr. Tough Guy, Donald Trump, had to move all of his inauguration events indoors because it was going to be too cold. But it was almost identical to the temperature and wind chill when Obama first got inaugurated and stood out there and gave his speech in front of almost 2 million followers. This guy, trying his best, says, Obama was 47 when he became president. Trump is 78. The cold might be a little different that age. I don't know. I'm only 42 and I work outside and hate the cold months. I'm sure it is different. The cold is different for me at 52 than it was when I was 22. Having said that, Donald Trump portrays himself as the man's man, the tough guy, can handle anything. He's the fittest president to ever live. He's the best at this and the best at that. He's got the best genetics. And now you're going to use his age as an excuse. You don't get to portray yourself as the toughest of tough guys. You don't get to portray yourself as the alpha male of all alpha males. You don't get to portray yourself as the baddest motherfucker to ever walk the face of the earth and then go, wow, it's kind of chilly out here. We need to go inside. Yeah, I understand Obama was much tougher than I am, but, we need to take these things inside. The fact of the matter is that Donald Trump could have stayed out there and given that speech. I don't think it would have been an issue for him physically. You can layer, you can dress properly. There's absolutely no reason why he could not have stood out there and been inaugurated and given that speech. The reason why shit was moved indoors is because he didn't have the crowd. There weren't going to be enough people to fill that space. There weren't going to be enough people to fill half of that fucking space. His crowd, his aerial shot of the crowd, was going to look so much smaller than the first inauguration, which was smaller than other inaugurations. He didn't want to be embarrassed. He didn't want to have his press secretary go out there like they had to do right off the bat in 2017 and go, this was the largest crowd to ever watch an inauguration in the history of American presidential inaugurations. Blah, blah, blah. Remember that bullshit? Remember when Sean Spicer came out there and the first thing he said as press secretary was a fucking lie, and it was a lie about crowd size? Remember that bullshit? And then everybody was putting the pictures side by side of his inauguration and Obama's inauguration, and the crowd was pitiful for him and packed for Obama. That's why it was moved inside. Trump's inauguration last week was not inside the rotunda because of weather. It was inside the rotunda. It was inside the rotunda because he didn't want to be embarrassed by a wee little bitty crowd